Most people think strength comes from muscles, money, or power, but real strength begins in the mind. It's not about what you lift, it's about what you endure. Every day, life whispers a question to you. Will you break under pressure, or will you rise because of it? The answer isn't given once, it's written daily, in your habits, in your thoughts, and in the way you respond when life pushes back. Mental toughness isn't built in comfort, it's built in chaos, in the moments when quitting looks easy, but you keep going anyway. Every day offers a quiet battle between comfort and growth, between the easy road and the one that leads to strength. The mind is like a muscle, it grows stronger only when challenged. Building mental toughness is not a weekend event, it's a daily discipline. It's what you do when no one is watching, the small decisions, the unseen efforts, the repeated choices that shape the person you become. You don't wake up one day mentally tough, you earn it by facing life as it comes, one challenge, one decision, one test at a time. When you decide to stop running from difficulty and start learning from it, life begins to open in a new way. Mental toughness begins with the way you think. You can't expect to live strong with weak thoughts. Everything starts with the stories you tell yourself. If you constantly say, "I can't handle this," then you won't. But if you start saying, "This will make me stronger," suddenly every challenge becomes a training ground. The mind follows the direction of your words, so choose them carefully. When you start to speak strength, you build strength. When you start to think progress, you begin to see progress. It's a daily process of rewiring your thoughts for endurance, determination, and focus. Discipline is the foundation of mental toughness. You cannot control everything that happens in life, but you can control your response. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Feelings are unreliable. They change with weather, mood, and convenience, but discipline stands firm. When you commit to doing the small things, waking up early, reading every day, finishing your work before rest, you are teaching your mind that it can trust your word. And once your mind trusts your word, your confidence grows. That's when you become unstoppable, because you've proven to yourself that you follow through. Mental toughness also comes from embracing discomfort. Too many people run from pain, but pain is the classroom where toughness is taught. Growth and comfort do not coexist. If you want to build a strong mind, learn to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Every time you push past the point where you want to quit, you are expanding your capacity to endure. You don't have to love the pain, but you have to love what it produces. It builds patience, perspective, and power. Those who can handle discomfort without losing focus are the ones who rise when others fall. Another pillar of mental toughness is emotional control. Life will test your patience, your peace, and your perspective. People will misunderstand you, plans will fail, things will not go as expected. In those moments, your emotions will try to take over. But mental toughness means responding with calm instead of chaos. It means breathing deeply when frustration tries to break through, keeping your principles when others lose theirs, and staying steady when everything around you shakes. Emotional control doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you don't let your feelings dictate your actions. You choose your response with wisdom, not impulse. Consistency is the secret ingredient that transforms toughness into strength. You can't build resilience by showing up once in a while. You must show up every single day, even when it's hard, even when results are invisible, even when motivation is gone. Success is built in the shadows of consistency. It's brushing your mind daily with good thoughts, feeding it with learning, stretching it with challenges. Over time, the repetition of effort becomes identity. You stop saying, "I'll try," and start saying, "This is who I am." That's the moment discipline becomes natural and toughness becomes instinct. Surroundings also play a powerful role. You can't grow strong in weak company. If you spend time with people who complain, who avoid responsibility, who settle for mediocrity, it will slowly drain your energy. Choose people who push you higher, who remind you of your potential, who live by example. The energy you absorb becomes the energy you project. Mental toughness grows faster when you are in an environment of accountability and excellence. You don't have to be the strongest person in the room, but you should be in a room that demands your strength. Gratitude is another form of strength often overlooked. When life gets difficult, it's easy to focus on what's wrong. But gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible. Every time you find something to be thankful for, you train your mind to look for light instead of darkness. Gratitude builds resilience because it teaches your heart to stay positive in pain. When you see blessings even in hardship, you no longer break under pressure. You bend, adjust, and grow stronger. Gratitude keeps your spirit tough and your attitude sharp. Mental toughness also grows through self-reflection. Each night, look back and ask, how did I handle today? Did I let my emotions rule me, or did I rule them? Did I choose growth, or did I choose comfort? Reflection helps you adjust and improve. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. The toughest minds belong to those who learn from experience instead of repeating it blindly. They study their patterns, refine their habits, and make the next day better than the last. Progress is not made by accident, it's made by intention. And finally, the spirit of endurance ties it all together. Mental toughness isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. It's about showing up again after failure, believing again after disappointment, and trying again when you're tired. Every great person you admire has one thing in common: they didn't quit. The strength they have today was built from the moments they refused to give up yesterday. Life will test you, but those tests are invitations to become the person you're meant to be. Each challenge carries a lesson, each failure carries a seed of wisdom, and each day carries a new chance to build the mind that can handle anything that comes your way.
Success is often misunderstood as a single event, a sudden breakthrough, or a stroke of luck that changes everything in an instant. But true success is rarely dramatic. It is the gradual accumulation of effort, discipline, and consistency over time. Success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by becoming the kind of person who lives by principles and disciplines that naturally bring about the results you desire. It is not about chasing wealth, fame, or recognition, but about creating the habits and mindset that make those things inevitable byproducts. When you see someone who is successful in business, relationships, or personal growth, what you are really seeing is the visible outcome of countless invisible choices, the hundreds of daily disciplines that nobody saw, the effort that went unnoticed for years until it suddenly became impossible to ignore. Success is deeply personal yet universal in its law. For one person, success might mean financial independence. For another, it might mean raising a strong family. For someone else, it might be the mastery of a craft or the freedom to live life on their own terms. The definition varies, but the path is always paved with discipline, consistency, and commitment to growth. Success is not measured by comparison with others, but by alignment with your own values and progress toward your own vision. To chase the definition that others impose is to live a borrowed life, but to design success on your own terms and build it through intentional living is to create something lasting and meaningful. At its core, success is a philosophy before it is a result. It is the philosophy that small efforts matter, that discipline shapes destiny, that growth is more valuable than comfort, and that long-term fulfillment is worth more than short-term pleasure. Those who adopt this philosophy begin to see success not as a destination, but as a journey of continual improvement. They stop looking for shortcuts and start building systems. They stop blaming circumstances and start taking responsibility. Success becomes less about achieving something someday and more about living successfully in each day, doing the right things, even when they are small, even when no one is watching, even when they don't yield immediate results. One of the reasons success feels elusive is because many people expect it to be quick. They look for overnight changes, immediate recognition, or instant wealth. But the truth is, success grows slowly, like a tree. You plant the seed, nurture it, water it, protect it, and for a while you see nothing. But beneath the soil, roots are forming. And eventually, when the roots are strong enough, the tree begins to break through the ground and grow upward. That's what success looks like. Years of unseen effort, study, practice, failure, and adjustment. followed by visible results that seem to appear suddenly to outsiders but were built gradually in reality. Success is also about the disciplines that others find easy to neglect. Getting up early, reading books, saving money, exercising, planning your day, staying consistent in your work, listening more than speaking, practicing gratitude, treating others with respect. These are not glamorous actions, yet they form the backbone of a successful life. The challenge is that each one of these actions feels small in the moment. Skipping a workout today doesn't harm your health tomorrow. Spending recklessly today doesn't bankrupt you tonight. Speaking rudely once may not destroy a relationship immediately. But repeated often enough, these small actions accumulate, either in your favor or against you. That's why success is never an accident. It is always the result of deliberate choices, repeated consistently until they produce visible change. There's also an emotional and mental side to success. Many people focus only on external achievements, forgetting that success begins with the mind. A person who does not believe they are capable will never take the necessary steps, no matter how much opportunity is in front of them. Success requires belief, not arrogance, but a quiet conviction that you are capable of learning, growing, and improving. It requires resilience, the ability to stand back up after failure, because failure is inevitable on the path. It requires patience, the ability to endure the delay between planting and harvesting. And it requires vision, the ability to see beyond the moment into the future you are building. Without the mental foundation, even the best opportunities will be wasted. With the right mindset, even the smallest opportunities can be transformed into great results. Another important dimension of success is contribution. True success is not only about what you gain, but also about what you give. The most fulfilled and respected individuals are not those who only accumulate wealth, but those who use their wealth, knowledge, and influence to uplift others. Success without contribution often feels empty because humans are wired to create impact. Helping others, mentoring, giving back to the community, or simply living as an example of discipline and integrity extends the value of success beyond yourself and ensures it continues long after you. Success, in this sense, becomes a legacy. It's also important to recognize that success is not linear. The path is filled with setbacks, failures, doubts, and detours. Many people quit because they believe these struggles are signs that success is not for them, but the reality is that every struggle is part of the process. Failures are lessons disguised as losses. Obstacles are training for resilience. Setbacks are setups for comebacks. Success does not come to those who avoid difficulty. It comes to those who endure difficulty long enough to grow stronger. Madeira. The very act of persisting through challenges builds the character needed to sustain success when it finally arrives. Success can also be simplified into a matter of daily disciplines. If you improve just 1% each day in any area of your life, by the end of the year, you will be 37 times better than when you started. This is the power of compounding applied to personal growth. 1% improvement might look like reading for 10 minutes, saving a few dollars, practicing a skill briefly, or choosing a healthier meal. None of these actions feel significant in isolation, but over time they transform your life completely. Success is the accumulation of those 1% improvements. The tragedy is that because they feel so small, most people dismiss them, waiting instead for a big breakthrough that never comes. We must also understand that success demands sacrifice. Every choice comes with an opportunity cost. Saying yes to health might mean saying no to laziness. Saying yes to financial stability might mean saying no to reckless spending. Saying yes to personal growth might mean saying no to constant entertainment. Success requires giving up certain comforts, pleasures, and distractions that feel good in the short term but destroy progress in the long term. The price may seem high, but the reward is infinitely greater. Those who are willing to sacrifice today are the ones who will enjoy tomorrow. In the end, success is not reserved for the lucky, the wealthy, or the naturally talented. It is available to anyone who is willing to build it day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. It is a formula, not a mystery. If you follow the principles of discipline, consistency, patience, and growth, success will follow you as surely as the harvest follows the seed. It may not come when you expect, it may not look exactly as you imagined, but it will come because life rewards those who live by its laws.